So one thing you guys might have noticed, especially with the next Gen Foundry Agent Service that I keep mentioning again and again, there are three major artifacts that come with agents. These are tools, memory, and guardrails, right? So we already had a good look at tools. What are tools? The knowledge-based tools, the action-based tools. We looked at the built-in tools and also the custom tools. Now it's time to take a look at memory and why memory is important. And I've actually observed that before the GA of the next Gen Foundry Agent Service, this memory concept was not there, especially with the agent service. You could add memory, especially if you're doing more pro code side of the things. But now Microsoft has given this option with your agents. Now, what does one single thing that comes into your mind when I say memory? Yes, so it is remembering what matters, right? And now the key question that comes is why memory changes everything. And what if I tell you that yes, memory plays a big role? So in Foundry Agent Service, memory allows an agent to remember information across conversations. So it doesn't treat every interaction like a brand new chat. Otherwise, if you think about it, every time you send, if memory was not there, every time you request something to the agent and it goes back, it is treating it like a new thing. But if memory is added, then it will remember that what you already asked, what it has already given you. So these are the basic, say, aspects around memory. So this is important for enterprise scenarios where agents work on long-running tasks, workflows, or user interactions, right? Now, the key question that would be coming to your mind would be, but what are the types of memory? So mainly there are two types of memory. We call it the short-term memory and the long-term memory. So short-term memory, as the name suggests, it is used for storing current conversation context. So it is just for that specific user session. It remembers, or the agent remembers, whatever you are doing in that particular session. Once you come out of that particular conversation or that particular session, then the memory is gone, because it is not a persistent memory. So the short-term memory helps the agent remember what was said earlier in the same session. So guys, remember the key here is same session, right? Like a good example could be user asking, create a report for project alpha, right? Or later add month's sales data. So agent remembers that project alpha from earlier in the conversation. So let's say you are saying, okay, can you add the last month's sales data to the project? Now, which project? Project alpha. That's what I'm trying to say. This is your session memory. The second type of memory is the long-term memory, which is the knowledge stored across sessions. And can you think about it? Yes. This is where the concept of vector databases come into picture as well, where you'd be storing into a database. So long-term memory stores knowledge across sessions. The agent remembers user preferences, previous tasks, important facts. Like the agent could remember user works in finance, prefers PDF reports, uses SAP data, and this is your persistent memory. A very good example I normally give is, let's say there's a student who's preparing for her exams. So she can say, I'm a student, I'm preparing for my IIT exams, and just keep all your responses based on that. Or there could be another person who's kind of working and looking for a job, right? Looking to become an AI architect. That person could say whatever is more important from my interview perspective, or generate responses in the form that if I'm actually being interviewed by somebody, right? So this would be stored in the long-term memory, right? So this is where the persistent memory comes into picture. Now, there are three main memory operations. One is capture, second is recall, and third is persist. Let's try and understand that. So capture means the agent stores the conversation history, user preferences, and important data. Like user preference could be send reports in Excel. So the agent captures and stores this. The recall, as the name suggests, you are retrieving the relevant past information. So recall means you are retrieving past information, like generate my monthly report, right? So agent recalls users' preference is Excel and generating Excel automatically. And persist, as the name suggests, the agent keeps the memory across the session. So when the user returns next week, the agent still remembers it. right? So I think with this you got a good understanding. So remember, the key benefit is memory is there for long running workflows, personalized assistants, multi-step business process, agents that act like digital employees, not just chatbots, right? So in a simple summary, we can say short term, it means remembering the current conversation or the current session. Long term, remembering across the sessions. Capture means storing information. Recall means retrieving the information. Persist means keeping the memory for future, right? So I think with this you got good understanding about what is the built-in agent memory in Foundry Agent Service. Don't worry, very soon we will have a demo on how you can use memory with your agents. So don't go anywhere.